Hi, my name is Lucy Wyndham-Read and I am a health, fitness and lifestyle vlogger. So the reason that I started doing the online business that I do is really I could just see that it was such an amazing way to really be able to just get content out there really regularly. And I was fortunate enough for a long time that I had an agent and I had books published, but you know, my agent at the time, she sort of said there isn't really much interest in health and fitness in the media. Like everyone was into just cookery and property programs, and also a publisher that I had at that time, and I was due to have a book out, I'd suggested to them that we do a lot on social media for the PR, suggesting things like Pinterest, and they didn't even know what Pinterest was. And it just really made me think, and funny enough, both those meetings I had the same day, and it just made me realise, you know what, the whole thing with social media is you can go it alone. If you're an expert in your field, if there's a demand or an interest for that, and I knew fully well from my website, Google Analytics, that people were always searching on information on how they can be healthy and fit, and that's when really I just decided to kind of knuckle down and learn as much as I could and self-teach myself about online business, about doing social media and learning about all the different platforms, and really that's how I got started. So how I started my following was really, in a way, I want to just kind of talk about right at the beginning. I then realised I needed to be able to totally understand the online, how it all worked, everything from like behind the scenes with my website. So I'd spent thousands before with website designers who'd cost so much money, and really the funny thing is, once I then learned how to create my own website, I realised they were charging absolute extortionate amounts for just doing tiny little changes. And you know, so that was a really powerful thing, just learning how I could build it all from complete scratch. And even with the whole social media, like I learned about Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, I just learned by doing research. You know, there are lots of people that you can hire to teach you, but you know, I just think sometimes if you learn it really from scratch yourself, lots of research, one, it saves you money, but I think you then really completely understand how it works. And so that's what I did, and you know, and it's slowly started to kind of like come together. I had the website, then I was able to like start putting on the regular blogs, which I then did, and then I linked those all to my social media sites. And for me, I'm quite a creative person. Like I see stuff very visually. I like to kind of demonstrate stuff with pictures and good analogies. And so for me, blogs I always found like a little bit boring if it was just written text. So I would always insert loads of different images into mine. And that's where it got really exciting, turning blogging into vlogging by being able to create the videos, which I could do on things like Instagram and doing them on YouTube. And so for me, that's really then how I could offer to all my followers really fresh, new, exciting content which hadn't been seen before. And I think on a lot of social media sites, people tend to just use the same thing. For example, this picture here of these two avocados, I have seen on near enough every Instagram health and fitness site. There are so many of them, and what people do is they just share the same stuff. So what I like to do is use my creativity, and every single pin or post that I put up, whether it's a pin on Pinterest or something on Instagram, I make sure it's completely original, it's my content, and that refreshes people. It kind of keeps them really engaged, and that really is how I've built my followers. But also it's called social media, so I'm very social with mine. You know, I kind of support and encourage all my followers as well. So I think my appeal is that people just, and especially young girls, that's what I tend to find, I have a lot of followers, that they can just trust me and they can kind of come to me for advice and guidance. Never set out to go and do social media as a way to earn money. I'd really just done it as a way to kind of put myself out there to a bigger audience on there. And one thing that I've always done in my life is just, instead of chasing the money, just chase success, just prove to people you are the best at what you do. And really, again, that's why I wanted to really kind of use social media as much as I could, you know, showing people that, you know, I know what I'm talking about. And it's been great because how it's increased my revenue is it's helped with my existing books I already have on sale. It's opened up opportunities to do online personal training. I've got clients all over the world now, Australia, Canada, Dubai, Hong Kong, and you know, I could never have imagined doing that 10-15 years ago. You know, everything was just kind of demographic to where you lived. I couldn't ever imagine that I'd be doing a training session in Australia than one in Canada. So you know, it has been amazing, and what is really exciting is the percent keeps going up quickly. But again, it's, you know, I'm doing it because I'm passionate about it, and it's taken a long time. It hasn't happened overnight. And actually, you know, the sacrifice that I made for like 3 or 4 years building up to it was literally living on next to nothing. But again, you know, my dream was to just go for being successful and never giving up. Obviously, I've got all my health and fitness qualifications, from postnatal to antenatal to nutrition for weight loss to personal training to also recently I did my children's health and fitness. So I've got all my fitness qualifications, but also I think I can kind of sort of say I'm a bit of a social media expert. I've self-taught myself about video editing, about website design, about coding, literally everything, because for me, especially having an online business, there's no point spending money getting someone else to do it if you need something done quickly, and if you're on a budget, then the best thing to do is learn yourself. And of course, the way you can do that is online, because there's everything, all the information we know online. So my list of qualifications goes on, and it will continue because I always want to keep learning.